떠납니다. 멜버른. 안녕. 도착했어요. 실내길. 공항부터가. Go straight, 게이저. 좀 밖에 날씨가 이래. You're serious?
Oh no, how can I make them?
Can we even drive?
It says take a left.
Ah, luckily we don't need to go up to the hill. 근데 되게 마을이 아기자기해요. 아기자기하다 means 귀여워. 아, 그러니까.
진짜. 버스 찍자.
우와.
I can barely even climb it.
Whenever you see the greeneries, your eyes can get better. Eyesight.
How can I get better?
하늘이 너무 해발고도가 높아서 산이랑 거의 구름이랑 너무 가까워서 하늘이 되게 멀지 않게.
Are cars like roads like this where it's like small and narrow and you're turning a lot constantly? You don't want the tall and big car. You want the Porsche or the sports car because you can grab the corners really easily.
맞아요. 길이 진짜 꼬불꼬불꼬불 해가지고.
점점 무서워.
와, 멀미할 것 같아. 십시에. 오? 어디데? I cannot.
Yes, you can, sweetie. Are you gonna feed the donkey with your hand?
You try now. 웃겼다. Yeah, they're very gentle, not like the horse, you know?
He's trying to get more.
I know.
Okay, I have to give a little bit to eat. Oh,
너무 예뻐. Hi, alpaca. Oh, so cute. 우와, 개.
sure. You rejected?
봐봐. 가자. What the black 맞아. 알파카 똥 싼다. 아 미치겠네.
I just want to get rid of them so I can get them home. There's a bunch of sheep over there. Fuck, it went on my face, dude.
I'm sorry.
it a poop?
Yeah, and it's the grass. The grass. Oh, sorry.
Smells like
Huh?
they would just give you the shoe covers.
So small. 어떡해. Oh, sorry.
Gage is 생겼어.
예뻐. 데이지 그래도 같이 와줘서 고마워. End up in Hobbit. Oh, cute. Oh, it makes a sound? Cute. 너무 멋지다. 안 그래, 게이지?
네.
그래.
한국어 패러글라이더.
Do you know?
Nature all the time is a little bit boring.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
There's not a lot of jobs in nature.
True.
That's why people have to live in cities.
Unless you're like,
But all the jobs like outside the cities, normally just like waiter.
저희는 지금 그 반지의 제왕에 나왔던 장면 중 한 곳을 가고 있어요. 펜트랑 이런 거. 콩무당벌레.
That's my piercing.
독버섯 발견. 근데 예쁜데 먹으면 죽어요. It says something. You have to take this way.
Turn left onto State Highway 6A.
Get out of the 아, 게이지 여기 내리고 싶다 야.
Tomorrow, eh? Yeah, come tomorrow, yeah. Sweet.
The old Jade and Yoga. He really believes it's gold. He says it's gold.
Yeah, so full day, half day sort of tours, and there's two different operators. Was from 1929, one of these old camps. They decided to shift them on and to make it into a family camp. So
와 뒤에 피어를 든다.
duck and dives over the Kaka Creek. A lot of kaka live around here. These are out for us. Come off the wave as we go past.
게이지 뭐해? 물 마셨어?
아니.
우와, 비디오 대박이다.
Nasty.
예,
Mr. Mountain.
진짜 대박이다. 하이. 샤넬리드 시간에 배웠던 피오레. I'm gonna no for sound. Right? So many languages.
On passengers either in or out as well, so please do.
Yeah.
Be wider called to look around or check it out.
I don't think you got any tips. It's a town, but it's also pretty much big. Said Patagonia North.
It's all spread out, right? Just the main store area is here.
There's a beach.
Normally from Asian parents, you need to get every benefit that you 해가 엄청 커. 와. 패러글라이딩 하러 왔어. There 오! We're gonna do the paragliding. Oh no. Okay. 와.
Where are you guys coming from?
아.
Yeah, pretty nice, huh? Woo, you like it?
Yeah, I like that.
Very good. Let's go to the Andy. Bye bye.
Okay. That was so good. Oh,
Hello again.
Hello.
Yes.
So as you were saying about the pine trees, they're not native, so they.
So yes, the pine trees they can grow very quick
Yeah.
and they can spread a lot.
Very good.
Nice, isn't it?
Comfortable. Take another one. 1, 2, 3. With the sun's behind me.
so cute. 귀여워. 지금은 이제 하이킹을 하러 갑니다. 아, 힘들어. 야, 개개지 근데 잘 어울린다. 빨간색, 파란색. 하이킹. Okay. Talk about it. People are coming. It's like a movie. What the?
귀여워.
뭐가 귀여워?
귀여워요.
귀여워.
Can I take video?
진짜 덥다. 벌써 땀나. 땀나. We're on the way to the Queenstown Hill, where we can see the whole city after paragliding.
맞아.
오. 오. 나 저기 제일 무서워. Oh, this should be very dangerous. Oh, I don't want to come down. Is it the right way? They got quiet because of me. 아, 경사?
아니,
경사 맞는데?
아니, 딱 양사.
경사 맞아. 경사가 지다.
No, my word's right.
걔지 지금 한국어를 가파르다는 거. 한국어 공부 중. 산에 경사에 대한.
Not CBD, more like town center. Because CBD means business district.
It has a huge line, you know? Not chocolate though.
Hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Can I get a...
귀여워. Do you know what my food is? What is it? Is it a pork or beef?
Chicken.
It was chicken.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken? 맛있어? 어때? 맛있어. 물 뜨거워? 물 진짜 깨끗하다. 뭐라고? 생긴 거.
Who are you?
Who am I?
한국 여자.
Oh, cute duckling is coming. Oh, little duckling. Oh, 걔 얼굴 탄 거 봐. 엄청 빨개졌다. You got tan here. I wonder when.
Look at how it's been the incline. How many times?
좋은데?
Look how slow these cars are going.
그러니까.
It's
It's like a movie. Like
You're gonna take that corner that fast one. Oh my.
it's gonna die. Just left behind a little bit longer. I got to only be like you. I wish you were gone as I with you. Please wait for. Let's be so special. Pressure. I think it's like a pressure.
Close. Keep it simple, you know. Oh, we want to go to Airbnb is like right around.
I think it's on that side.
Did when you come to the water country?
귀여워. What a nice vibe. Especially, it's like. This one is like, I think it's a little bit overcooked, you know? Ah,
These cows can just get in the road if they want to.
I know.
Then I have to honk it.
Oh, oh,
Oh.
oh, they're so cute.
This one. You know what I mean?
Whoa, that's a lot. It's like an effect. 무당벌레. 무당벌레. 우리 물에 통과했어. 맞아.
Without it, it actually looks like good.
와. 우와. 대박. 안녕하세요.
I can't hear it.
안녕하세요.
And the bikes are allowed to go.
Whoa. This is so scary.
You know, like the pop.
어. Look at the glacier. Water comes all the way from there. 우와. Hi.
Howdy.
Hi. Hi. You're like tour guide, like NPC.
NPC? Howdy.
Hi. Right? 우와. 우와. 핸드폰 말고. 반찬, 그리고 김치.
What is this?
오늘 날씨가 안 좋아요.
Stops soon. And then it doesn't rain at all until 3 p.m. There's a chance, 30% chance of rain. And then no more for the rest of the
But we can still see the stars at night, right? 오늘의 OOTD. 오늘은 하이킹을 하지 않으므로 잘 weather. How good. Serious? Time goes fast. I mean, for kids. Welcome to paradise. That's so cute. It's the bridge. Ah, that's the bridge heading to the shepherd's house.
처음 봤어.
뭐를?
Paying for tincture.
내 말이. The one in Queenstown is a real one. This one is just like.
And people said it wasn't that hot. No.
Whoa! You look like a seal water.
일본 라면.
일본 라면 먹고.
Just sitting in the
So
ramen salad with pineapple sauce.
that's good.
But we have no side, so we should get either a non-tray or a side.
You drawn and then bring your jacket.
Which jacket? It's not far enough.
You could see yesterday.
왜 없어?
글쎄다.
Oh, it's in morning still.
Who knows at late night? Like it's like 2 a.m. something. right? 와, 우리 음식 언제 나와? Lakeview.
감자 있다.
내 말이. 우와. 잘 먹겠습니다.
잘 먹겠습니다.
우와. Look at how soft it is. 왜 봤어? 귀여워.